to get the movie Secrets of Ruinage, the movie Secrets of Ruinage, which is the black origins of the Irish. Also told you to get everything is under control, Robert Anton Wilson's book. When he gives you this documentary, when he makes mention to you guys, you look up the book, it's an encyclopedia of the occult, and you look up the information, you will find this guy by the name of Bob Quinn out of Ireland did a whole TV series on this particular African origins of the Irish. He did a whole TV series, and I think I have some past tapes where I explained all that. Well, it's also documented in Robert Anton Wilson's book, Everything is Under Control. Cult Conspiracies and Cover-Ups is the name of the book. It's an excellent book, and I would recommend his other than other people like The Whole to Pay Your Heart and people like that, you know, because Robert Anton Wilson is a member of several occult societies, so therefore his stuff will be a little more authentic to know the inner aspect of what's going on when it comes to these particular secret societies. So I would recommend that particular book other than your boy's book. Well, David I tell you, I think that he's a part of a society too, and in so many words he's mixing a certain amount of information, but then again on the other hand he's double talking. So when you hear this stuff about the reptilian race, these are code words. Reptilian, these are code words that mean black people. We're talking about the Kundalini energy. We're talking about the Kundalini energy of the serpent energy of the Uranus people of ancient Kemet. So anytime you hear these particular words, when you hear these particular words, Kundalini, you know they're not talking about anything but the black dot and the whole staff of Tahuti, you see, which is the Kundalini energy. And you also see your double helix structure, which in actuality we also know that the only people that really have the full aspect of this particular Kundalini energy is black people. So when they talk about the reptilians, you know that's us. When they talk about the draconians, that's us, Alpha Draconis. That's the origin of the black mother, or the great mother, which is Alpha Draconis, which is the northern hemisphere of the whole entire universe. So, excellent book that everybody should own right now. The book called Celestial Ship of the North. Everybody should own a copy of that book. $35. It was a book that was banned for about 60 years. Up until 1990, 93, and actually I found it by mistake. So I put a little campaign to bring this woman's work back out. Celestial Ship of the North by Eva Lencia Stranton. Eva Lencia Stranton. Everyone should own a copy of that book. She combined the works of Gerald Massey and Blavatsky, Madame Blavatsky, together. 2 volumes in one for $35. The first one is on the whole African origins of the black race, of the African Celestial Ship of the North. Celestial Ship of the North. It's put out by the Alchemical publishing company, Kessinger Publishing Company. Everyone should try to get a hold of that book. It should be a book that you should have in your library. Celestial Ship of the North, Eva Lencia Stranton. The first part is on the whole African origins of Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and the human race. And the second part is on the Egyptian origins of astrology, with a complete glossary that's at least 7-8 pages long, and 2 indexes, one released after the first book and after the second book. The astrological information in there is pertinent because most of the astronomy we get is basically Europeanized. You know, so especially astrology, you know, and so basically this book is a great book, and everyone should have this particular book. Getting back to what I was dealing with, the Kundalini people, whenever you hear these words, Draconian, there was a group of people, before you had dynastic Kemet, you had what is called the Draconian cult of Egypt, or the Draconian realm of pre-dynastic Egypt. They were called the this word draconian, they're talking about black people. It's the children of the dragon. And the dragon is always the great mother. And as I said before, the great mother is also in Samaria, in Babylonia, Tiamat. And Tiamat is also, the great mother is also named Babylon. So anytime you hear a rock saying Babylon or something evil, remember they talk about the great mother. So you got your Typhonian Egyptians, which is your pre-dynastic Egyptians. You have the Typhonians, which is the great mother Typhon, Apep. The great dragon is another form of the great mother. Typhon, then you have the Typhon, and from the Typhon you get the Leviathan. All this is forms of the great mother. So the great dragon in the Bible is the great mother. Is the great mother. The great whore of Babylon. All of this is the form of the great mother, which is interesting because the suppression of the great mother also, I will say to people that it just came to me recently, before I get back, this is something totally off the subject, but then again I'm getting ready to get back, it's all relative. When, to reverse a certain amount of polarities, when a woman ages, her power becomes stronger. And based on this particular society, and based on the patriarchal culture, it is known, it is a type of culture to basically shut the woman down. And so to regain that particular power, I suggest that for women going in the late 40s and going even in the late 40s and the 50s, going in 50s and 60s, you should beef up your sex life instead of cutting it down. So therefore, in actuality, you should become more sexually active. And it should be a #1 priority even when you was a doggone teenager. Because we're talking about a certain amount of primal energy. And also, too, we also know that the sexual energy changes when a woman nears 50 and all, and in the late 40s. It's a lot different. So therefore, even if you got to go pay a damn young nigga to get it, you need to be doing something like that based on a certain amount of energy. What's that?
What about, I mean, I'm a very important
yeah.
I got to have a brother in the computer.
Yeah.
Well, I do believe in a lot.
Yes. All that. We'll put it this way.
And I know how to.
See, you got to reverse all polarity. Sexual promiscuity is good. Lust is good. Everything that the patriarchal system tells you that you're supposed to be doing, you're supposed to be doing. Anything that you get in your mind that you are saying these particular thoughts that you must suppress, and you know you're thinking this shit, you need to go with what your mind says and not what society says. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this, and we'll get deeper into this as we go on. But this is one thing also about a certain amount of power. That the society tells you that basically when you get a certain age, that you're supposed to, that's not ladylike. Basically, it drills in your mind and stuff, so basically, you shut down. Now, anybody know anything about sex? It's just like anything else. It's just like a light switch. If you don't have it, you don't have the desire for it. If you do have it, you develop a greater desire for it the more you have it. See what I'm saying? And we're saying this based on a certain amount of energy. We're talking about energy here. When we get into the alchemical process, I'll come back and I'll break that down. So hold me to that. But going back to my original synopsis here on this Kennedy thing, first of all, your boy David Icke and all that, a lot of that is stuff that curves a certain amount of knowledge from the original knowledge. So if you notice, when you read this stuff, although they mix truth with a lot of confusion, you also come up confused. You see what I'm saying? Come up confused. Because ultimately, they don't have to say so on how this shit is going down. We do. No matter how much they say, they don't have to say so on how this shit. They're literally shaking in their boots. Now, going back to this particular information based on this Kennedy thing, you got the Irish thing that is basically a black thing. on the secret society, they understood that number one, they had to take a society, and they had to take a group of people that had some type of connection with some Negroes. Now, you never count this out because, you know, you got the whole ethnicity with the black queen, Elizabeth. So there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on right now. So anyway, based on the book Messianic Legacy, I can't think of the two guys that wrote the book, Messianic Legacy. In so many words, your whole presidency and your whole, everything that you talk about the government is set up under the same Christ pattern. Well, number one, we did that in ancient Kemet, whereas the Pharaoh took on the role of Horus and Osiris. But you can govern that on a righteous way, or you can also use it as control. In so many words, but we look for whenever we vote in the president, we look for the president to bring us a better life. That's why most people voting in. So in so many words, we're talking about a form of messiahship. Yeah, all this. So you got people shaking in their boots and crying when the Democrats lose and all that kind of thing. And basically, people feel a greater manifestation than any type of messiah that you read about in a particular society. You see. So now, on one hand, what's happening here with the Kennedy thing is they had to literally get this particular family, a royal family in so many words. And in so many words, just like the Christ thing, every so often in a cycle, they have to sacrifice one of them. So they sacrificed one of them to get early 60s, beginning of the 60s. By 68, the climbing started going. Again, they sacrificed another one. Through the, Ted, he got in the Chapel 20 thing for some reason. I guess the stage is right or whatever the deal was. But, you know, they had one of the Kennedy boys die in the 80s. One of the Kennedy guys died in the 80s. No, he had an overdose. One of Bobby Yeah, so basically, so then the scene shifts to the 90s, to the 90s and the 60s and 90s is all the same cycle. So therefore, Bobby's son literally died 30 years after his father. His father died in 68, he died in 90, so-called hit a tree skier. You see?
98 or 99?
99, excuse me. No, he died in 98. Now I'm not talking about Robert. Okay, Bobby.
All right.
Bobby's son died in 98. Okay. John F. Kennedy died in 63. His son died in 99. But 3s and 9s is the same damn shit. 3 times 3 is 9. And 6 and the 3s, you see how the thing lines up. And in so many words, to get past a certain cycle, to somehow ensure the secret society's security, whether they go on or not, they have to sacrifice a form of royalty. And as you know, they call Kennedy the Royal Camelot.
Right.
You understand how this thing goes? So, here it is, we have this guy. His license says, this is the John F. Kennedy, his license says don't fly at night and don't fly alone. He does how he flies at night, he flies alone, and also it says don't fly in bad weather. He flies in bad weather. But not only does he fly at night, fly alone, in bad weather, he flies with a damn near half broke foot. And on top of that, he's going to throw in his wife and his damn sister off, and his rumors that the wife is up for Suppression. You see. Meanwhile, he's going up on his 40th birthday. You see what I'm saying? Because he's born in 1960, so 2000 he's going to hit 40. And knowing that that's the time he can run for president, he had already started talking about, yeah, this might be one of my goals. And you know damn well, every black woman in the country will vote for John, let alone every white woman. You see, so but one of the keys here is how this whole thing went down. I heard that morning that anybody was watching and said that there was an instructor that was supposed to be with him. That mysteriously didn't end up with him. But that morning the report was there was an instructor in there with him. You see what I'm saying? Number two, they took all weekend to find this guy, and then they find him. Now this is one of the keys. They find him, and you're going to spend down there 3-4 days to find him. And then you're going to spend down there